I'm Josiah. I'm south of San Antonio. Most people go to see the Alamo, the battle, but I'm looking for a different story, the survival story. This is Mission Espada.
To understand the survival, you have to understand the threat. In 1731, when this mission moved here, it wasn't a city, it was the raw frontier. Spain sent friars here to hold the territory for the king, but for the Coahuiltecan families, this wasn't about empire, it was about survival. Their world was ending, diseases were decimating their bands, droughts dried up the food, and from the north, a terrifying new enemy was closing in, the Apache. So they made a desperate choice. They moved inside these walls. It wasn't just a mission, it was a refugee camp. It offered protection and a new faith and way of life. You can see the urgency in the build. Look at the tower. That's not just limestone, those are red bricks. They didn't have a quarry nearby, so they fired local river mud to patch the gaps. It's a reminder that you don't wait for perfect conditions to build a sanctuary. You use what you have. But you can't build a community in the desert without water. Just a mile up the road is the Espada Aqueduct. It's the only Spanish aqueduct left in the United States. To the friars, this wasn't just plumbing, it was the foundation of the mission. Before they could feed the soul, they had to ensure the body could survive. They redirected the river to turn the dry brush into farmland. It's an example of faith in action. They trusted God to provide the water, so they built the channel to carry it. Further north, at Mission San Juan, the story shifts. You see this white chapel standing tall? But if you look just a few yards away, you'll find a ghost. See those long, empty walls? That was supposed to be the great church, a massive European cathedral, but it was never finished. By the late 1700s, the epidemics had taken a heavy toll. The labor force vanished, the roof was never built. It looks like a failure, but here's the paradox. While the cathedral stayed empty, these fields were full. This mission grew so much food that they exported it to feed the entire region. It's a quiet reminder that God is less interested in our grand buildings and more interested in how we feed His people, both physically and spiritually. At San José, the scale changes. Founded in 1720, they call it the Queen of the Missions. These massive walls made this place a fortress against the raids. But tucked right next to the church is this, the convento, the residence. Look at these arches. This is where life happened. Where they ate, where they talked, where they rested after working in the fields. We tend to separate life into sacred and secular, but here the sanctuary and the living quarters were connected. It reminds us that faith isn't just for the sanctuary, it's a way of life. Our last stop is the survivor, Mission Concepción. Dedicated in 1755, this is the oldest unrestored stone church in the United States. It stands exactly as it was built, no major reconstruction, just original stone. But the real genius here isn't the stone, it's the light. The friars used solar geometry. They aligned the windows so that on specific holy days, the sun would illuminate the altar. They knew the Coahuiltecan people looked to the heavens for guidance, so they didn't hide the sun. They used the architecture to redeem it, showing them that the light they loved was pointing to the Creator who made it.
You know, looking at these old walls, it's easy to just see ruin. But the people who founded these didn't just vanish. Their descendants formed the city. They came for survival, stayed for sanctuary, and almost 300 years later, the walls are still standing.